It's Miss Juicy Baby. Hey girlies. Last week I posted a video answering questions. I would say like 60% of the answers I gave were really dumb and like useless. I really don't like sporks, but there was like a good 40 that was useful. And one of the questions that I got asked was, how do I improve my creativity? That really got me thinking. The answer that I gave was, it's not that you can't draw, it's that what you do, what your brain translates to your hand, it doesn't match what is societally accepted as like good art. So a lot of people kind of just probably tried when they were younger to draw or to create something and it didn't come out good, so they just stopped. Because of that, there's so much art that we haven't seen. And that's exciting and kind of sad because like we were conditioned to think that our creations, our unique personal things weren't good if they didn't look like the Mona Lisa or Picasso or whatever it may be. So I got a message the other day asking me how to find your unique art style, and it kind of got me thinking, like, what are the things that I did from like when I started drawing when I was young to now to kind of hone in on my personal style. And I think there's a lot of fun things that you can do to find your unique style. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be going through some tips, my art journey from doodling when I was little to creating pieces like the things behind me. And hopefully by the end of this, you feel inspired to keep going at your personal style and see where it takes you. So let's get into it. I'm so excited. All right, let's do this. All right, babies, let's talk about my personal art journey. As you can see in these notebooks, I've tried a bunch of different styles out. The one consistent factor in all of my drawings is line work. When I would doodle in class, I would stick to geometric designs and patterns. Here's the main thing I want you to take away from this video. Collect data points about what you're drawn towards. You don't need to keep a journal about these things or write them down anywhere, but just take a mental note of what makes you want to continue to create. For example, I really liked the sensation of markers and pens on paper. That's a data point. I really wanted to do more geometric line work. That's another data point. I didn't like how markers had grainy and rounded edges. That is another data point. I used these observations to make decisions about what I wanted to do instead. I started to use pens to outline the marker and make it look more clean. I stopped using pencils and stuck with smoother mediums. The observations I was making were creating a path for me, and I kept following that path to get to where I am now. Here's the thing. Your art journey isn't going to be perfect. It's not going to be linear. There are going to be pieces that you make that you literally hate. You're going to make drawings that you don't even finish. There'll be phases you go through where, for example, you love drawing animals and the next day you switch to something completely different. There are no rules with art. Art is subjective. If you're enjoying the feeling of what you're doing, if you feel satisfied with the way that your paintbrush or pencil glides across the canvas or paper, then you're on the right path. The same way that you learn what you want and don't want in a career or a partner, you're gonna learn what you want and you don't want in your art. When you get inspired by something you see on the street or in a magazine, don't force yourself to recreate it perfectly. Instead, let your mind wander, see where that takes you. Take pride in the fact that your art is uniquely you and no one else can create exactly what you do. Your art is incredible, even if you don't think so yet. I have a couple suggestions for you. 1, set aside some time where you're just gonna passively draw, where you're just like watching a movie, watching YouTube, or listening to music, and just doing whatever it is that your hand wants to do. Hi, okay, I'm editing this video right now, and I was thinking if this prompt is a little bit too broad for you, like you don't have any idea where to start with just drawing something passively, try drawing a little box on a piece of paper and start there. Just fill the box with whatever you can think of. It can be a little scene, it can be just a bunch of dots, a bunch of lines, whatever it might be. But start small. There's no need to like create... Why am I using the Mona Lisa so many... The Mona Lisa, you know, like... Yeah. Anyways, okay. I like to sit, I watch YouTube, and I just get like a pen and a piece of paper, and I just passively draw. I don't have a game plan, I'm just drawing whatever comes to mind. I actually made a TikTok a little while ago. Find me on TikTok at Degemi. I'm just gonna insert it. When I was little, my aunt told me something that stuck with me through all these years. I'm 23 now. But when you're making art, there are no mistakes. You might feel like this is too difficult, I can't get it to look exactly how I want, or you make a pen mark that kind of ruins what your original idea was. Those aren't mistakes, they're just opportunities to turn your art into something you weren't necessarily expecting. And that's helped me create a ton of different pieces that I wouldn't have originally made had I just stopped when I thought I messed up. Basically, there are no mistakes. If you accidentally draw outside of the lines, or you make a smudge, or something comes out the way that you weren't expecting, lean into that and see where that takes you. Basically, bottom line, whatever is satisfying to you, lean into that, because that's gonna take you closer to finding your style. So here's another thing that you can do. Sit down and challenge yourself to draw something. It can be a person. What were you inclined to do with that drawing? Were you trying to add a lot of details? Were you trying to draw like some shading? What was your mind telling you to do? Was it dimension? Was it features? Was it detail, lack of detail? Pay attention to those things. And this might take a few tries. Keep in mind that this is geared towards finding the style that you like and not so much the technique. Like, I don't think that my drawings of people, for example, are, I don't want to say good. I don't think that they're not accurate, but you can tell what I'm trying to draw. They're fun. So, hello? I would say my main piece of advice when finding your personal art style is to just keep at it. The point is to push past your belief that what you're doing is bad and keep going. Keep pursuing different little things that you find satisfying, because the more that you create, the closer you're gonna get to finding that specific signature style for you. I really hope this video was helpful. If you have an interest in art, you're an artist. So, okay. You know, if this helped you, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe, baby! You guys like this picture of my boyfriend when he was in high school, I think? He's so tiny. Alright, see you next week. Ciao, wow, 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 yeah.